So let's bring in Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Tom. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, Heather.
So you heard the AG say there, I think spying did occur. That doesn't really shock you, though.
No, it's a really unremarkable description of what's been happening, what is known to have happened. And the hysterical reaction shows that the left and really the corrupt Democrats who were behind the spying don't want this discussed at all. Is there any argument there wasn't spying? I don't understand what the fight is about. And it shows you that if there was a legitimate basis to use the intelligence agencies, the FBI and DOJ, to target President Trump and his team, or then candidate Trump, yeah, I don't think you'd have this hysterical reaction. Well, because the question that the Attorney General had, Heather, was there a reasonable predicate for the spying? I think the reaction of the Democrats tells us no, there wasn't. Well,
the reaction of the Democrats at this point seems to be, well, now the Attorney General is covering for the president. Listen to this.
I believe the Attorney General of the United States of America believes he needs to protect the President of the United States, and I think that's unfortunate.
This is an attempt to take the attention off that very serious, these very serious crimes, and divert people's attention to absolute conspiratorial nonsense.
You know, so is anything going to be good enough for them?
No, these are folks who are defending criminal activity by their party that wrongfully used the FBI and the Justice Department by sending information to it that was false, that was known to be false or should have been known to be false, to target their opposition during the campaign. Remember, the Democratic National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign was behind this. So when you see elected Democratic leaders complain that Barr has called them out effectively, these are folks that are partly responsible. It was their party behind this, what I believe to be criminal activity.
You know what else people may or may not remember? And we can pull this back up from like 2017 when President Trump actually tweeted out that some of this was happening. People laughed at him. You know, the mainstream media went crazy over this. He said, terrible. Back in 2017, just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism. So he perhaps wasn't that off base.
Oh, he was righter than right. Wires tapped. I mean, he'd be lucky if that were the only case. That was the only thing that he was doing. That was going on. They had people targeting his campaign, spying directly on his campaign, using letters to take up all his phone records, and then they had this expansive FISA operation geared at getting information about him and his campaign, using Carter Page as the vehicle for doing so. You know, all of which was based, and they had there was never a good reason, there was never a good faith basis to institute this mass spying operation against the opposition, the presidential candidate of the Republican Party. Incredible. Yeah. And the fact that Barr just made this really unremarkable description of it as a spying operation, saying maybe we should look into what was behind it. And the reaction by the corrupt Democrats is just tells you everything you need to know.
I mean, it's the fact that he used the word spying that just seems to have sent people, I'll use the phrase that Nancy Pelosi used, off the rails. Is there anything else that Barr needs to be looking into besides all of the things that you just mentioned? Because Judicial Watch has been looking at this from the very beginning. I mean, you've looked at all of this.
I mean, we have the document showing the FBI was paying Christopher Steele 11 times in 2016. They fired him. And then we have the document showing that Bruce Orr, despite him being fired, the FBI was happy to use Bruce Orr to communicate with him 60 times after he was removed by the FBI. What about the FISA warrant applications? And frankly, Attorney General Barr shouldn't be the only cabinet official trying to figure out what went on. The State Department was targeting President Trump. The CIA, the NSA. Where has Director Wray been for the last 2 years?
Yeah, there's a name that we haven't heard recently. Tom, thank you so much for joining us. We always enjoy having you with us, of course.
You're welcome. Thank you.